Hi, we're the Flaming Liberals, and this is Tellin It Straight. Yay! Okay, so what's on the topic today?
Oh, well, this is not.
We have to use notes because you know what? For some reason, we don't start videoing anything until like 2 in the morning. Like if you guys had our lives, I think
It is
you would.
It is a weird and 3 in the morning for our last video. We said we would be shooting earlier, and we are.
we honored our word. Oh, it's like 1:42.
Yeah, exactly. It's not 3 yet. That's still relatively early.
Exactly.
Alright, so a lot of stuff is happening in the kind of political news today. I'm not talking about election stuff yet because I don't want to get into that. Yeah, that's like a whole video in and of itself. So
It's like a whole billion videos in and of itself.
Right. But today is, well, I don't know what day it'll be in this video, but
Today is Friday.
But when this news is happening, when we're recording this video, it's the day after Veterans Day, and Obama announced that they would be ending the combat operations in Afghanistan.
Yay.
Which, I mean, I think that's generally a good thing. He has this kind of plan for how that will go down, that the combat operations end this year. In 2014, he said that would be a very good year for ending that. I'm like, okay, we hope it's going to go well, but yay. So there's like, 32,000 troops over there right now, and he wants to pull out and leave 10,000 troops there in 2015.
So a lot of people get to come home.
Right, that would be good. A lot of the troops get to come home.
Yes.
People get their families back.
That would be nice.
That would be nice, right?
Yes.
So the remaining troops there would be training and supporting the Afghan soldiers and military so that they can kind of be a little more self-sufficient, because I guess what the point is that they don't really want the American troops over there for the wartime efforts. Okay, like if they're going to be there, they want it to be like in 2016 when they can leave only 1,000 troops there for normal type of embassy security stuff. Because I guess that's what they're aiming for. Is that Obama said he wants Afghan people to be more self-sufficient, and so he wants America to be able to lend them the financial security and the manpower while they need it, but ultimately they'll be able to handle their own military and soldiers and their own fights. And then, of course, we would still come in if people need help, because that's what we always do, even if we maybe shouldn't be sticking our nose in everybody's business. But hey, the fight against terrorism, that is important.
Yeah. Well, actually, now that you bring that up, I just had that discussion earlier today with somebody else where there is a really strong mindset that says, well, we should just take care of what's going on in America, but not outside of America. And a long time ago, I used to have that same mindset. But then now, after observing how intense, I guess you could say, people are with what they want to do, it doesn't work so well, because if somebody's really intent on causing a problem and taking over more territory, they're eventually going to get to you. So best to nip it in the bud when it's small versus large. What the problem is everybody kind of needs to be on board. It's really difficult when you're the one country that's, taking care of that, and then everybody's disjointed, like within the League of Nations. So that's kind of where I think the problem more or less lies.
Yeah, because
and we also, this is the other thing I wanted to say too, because a lot of people, it's like we need to worry just about us. It's like, well, we definitely should be worrying about us, but ethically, we're kind of responsible for everybody. Like, how would you feel if we were being stomped into the ground and murdered, and some other country was like, well, that's not our problem? Like, I'm not saying that it's just our responsibility. It's really, as an entire world, our responsibility is to do something about it.
I agree. I think that's like a particularly American mindset, because we're not like other countries who kind of experience the war on our home front. We haven't had that since the Civil War, basically.
Yeah, it's been a while.
The closest the war really got to us in like World War I and World War II was like Pearl Harbor. And that was
we have the 9/11 attacks.
Well, yes,
and that brought an
that's
awakening.
Still, that's still part of this kind of war.
Yeah.
That's currently ongoing. Like, we're still fighting Al-Qaeda, and we're still fighting against that particular brand of terrorism.
Yes.
Because, yes, that was like the one really big wake-up call that, hey, it can come to us. But you know what? There was still hardly anyone to fight on their own grounds. Like, obviously, they're still infiltrating Americans, and they're recruiting Americans to become terrorists.
They tend to be more, the things that we fight tend to be more like civil rights issues and things like that versus actual, and they can spread into life or death. And please do not think that I'm,
Of course, we still have
negating
just
that,
like other countries,
but people aren't passing laws right now to go out and murder a bunch of people for anything.
We're still a relatively, we're a safe country compared to other countries. So I think that's also why America is relied on to provide help. Because I don't know.
Because we ethically stand for it.
Well,
and
yes.
so like our ethical brain is in gear and everyone's like, well, hey, they get it. Maybe they can come and help us out.
Yeah.
And I think ultimately we just need to create an international awareness where everybody gets on board, as I like to call the international powwow. I know we do, but it doesn't work. We gotta.
Well, it does.
We've gotta get some people involved. Well, because the thing is once we get the bigger guys, the other bigger guys,
like
to kind of cooperate.
NATO's still in Afghanistan and stuff. So I mean,
don't even get me started. But like the thing is it's like there's a lot of hypocrisy, and there's a lot of people saying that they're in agreement, but they don't follow through. But if everybody just kind of followed through on an ethical standing and made sure that those things didn't happen, then guess what? We wouldn't have these problems. It's everybody shirking responsibility worldwide that is creating.
But sometimes I feel like, I don't know, like if we don't get asked for help, then we should stay out of it necessarily. Like we kind of force people to go into democracy, which...
Oh no, that's a whole different, that's a whole different thing.
But then I'm like...
Government systems versus just like ethics.
But like I felt bad because a lot of the people in the Middle East were, revolting against American troops and whatever America was trying to do, what we think apparently is trying to help them. And I'm like, really, we're trying to force our own ideals onto them. I'm like, they are their own country, so at least if we can give them an option to choose, like, I mean, Afghanistan's election is in 2 weeks, so they are moving to democracy. Yay! And
if they want.
Yay! And, Egypt is in the middle of their elections right now, and there's not a lot of people voting. Like, I think they're having their own issues right now because I think one of the members running was the chief military person for the previous regime. Okay. That didn't work out, so he resigned his post in order to run, and I think he's winning right now, even though I don't think really people are voting for him. So somebody's probably stuffing the ballots. That's why they keep increasing the days to vote. But this one, like, I don't really understand why that is, because you know what? At least Egypt is holding their leaders accountable for their actions, because if they're saying they're not fulfilling their obligations that they're supposed to, they're kicking them out. And I'm like, maybe we should do that. No, like, just that people do need to have more accountability. And if you're going to lead a country, then you need to have that country's best interest. And, I'm sure you probably didn't expect, unemployment to skyrocket when all this crap happened, but is that the price people pay for democracy? Probably, because we have huge unemployment as well, so... I'm over here like... But then you have places like, Russia, China, North Korea. And then I'm like, no, democracy, never mind. Forget I said anything bad about democracy, okay? Because we do have some control, and I think that's why the current elections are going to be really important. Because
apparently my fridge wanted to shoot an ice cube, and it's like, yay, democracy.
Yes, her fridge is all
my fridge likes to shoot out ice cubes.
It would like the voting rights now.
One of its favorite times to do that is when you put on Kansas's song "Carry On My Wayward Son."
What happens when we create AIs that soon want to vote? And they're like, no, you stupid humans. Like, eventually they're just going to want to take over everything. Like, is that weird? Is that too futuristic? I think that'll happen.
1984.
Sorry.
You and Daniel.
George Orwell, go Orwell. I like his stuff. He was a creative dude.
Animal Farm I really like.
Yeah. I don't know, 1984, Big Brother. I'm like, if you don't think we are in the midst of 1984 right now, oh yeah, thanks, Big Brother's always watching us.
I know, we took a hacker program.
Hi, Big Brother. You're literally watching everything we do, listening to everything we do, without even having to be around us. It's awesome. Go privacy! Woo! We have none in this country, especially. We have freedom, apparently, but they're watching us every minute.
Yay!
Yay! But you know what? We can still say this.
You wouldn't, but this is good. This is,
I'm not
yeah,
saying anything
we
about
have not been, yeah, exactly. Now, here's what I want to say. A lot of people are like, oh, this is so horrible, I don't have any more freedom, and blah, blah, blah. And it kind of totally stinks. But when you have a hacker, let me tell you, because I've had one for like, well, that I've been aware of for like 2 years, probably for a lot longer, but for at least 2. It really makes you live out what you say you do, because if you think you're going to get away with anything, the hacker will know. So if you want to be proven a hypocrite, keep on going. So, you know, hackers will hold you accountable, because you'll suddenly be like, maybe I shouldn't Google that, or maybe I shouldn't say that, or I don't know. So if you want to become a better person, just leave your computer on all the time and leave the hacker there, and it's all good. So, you know, there's a benefit to every...
I feel like this was not supposed to be rant day, but I think
every day is rant day, I'm telling you. This was a mild.
Just wait till you see our rant day video, which I guess will be posted before this one. But if you happen to see this one before that, don't worry. We're not even going to be talking about this. Like,
we'll talk about something else. We're talking all like futuristically backwards. That's so weird. Do you realize?
I know, because we're doing it.
What are we doing?
We are being weird. So anyway, we live in a great country. We are allowed to criticize it. That doesn't mean we don't appreciate what we do.
I'm very thankful for America.
Every day I'm thankful that I do live in this country.
Even
though it has its problems.
Like, well, and I know people in industry, and they tour, and they will always tell you that it's very privileged and it's very nice.
Yes.
They appreciate all the countries, but as far as freedoms and protections and things like that, it's very blessed. So, it's something a lot of people don't think about. They don't realize that we are very privileged.
Yeah. And we could literally be having
smited
wars
in
our
5
streets.
seconds. Yeah.
Like what's happening in Ukraine, or in the Middle East, or probably sometime in Korea, or China. Like, we don't really know what's happening over there until it gets news. Yeah. But that's those people's everyday lives, is that they are living, and there's gunfire and bombings right outside their houses. And we deal with that occasionally, but never to that same extent. Like, these are like radicals in our country, and so have these places, that's their military that's doing that. And Brunei,
you're being stoned for being gay, and if you see that petition, sign it to get rid of that.
Yeah, there's a petition going around. I don't know if we have.
You can go find it on at J Renee Uncut, and a million other places. But the Sultan is past that you can like be stoned if you are gay. It's ridiculous. There's a lot of ridiculous stuff going on. Like, I know that things aren't fully equal here, but when you think about what's going on in other countries.
Where I thought, like, the world was actually kind of making some progress for gender equality, and then suddenly
we just went,
Putin in Russia, and then a lot of places in the Middle East, and some places in Asia, we're like, what?
Everything got shut down.
Did we just go backwards?
A little bit. A lot of it.
A lot of it?
A lot of it. Yeah.
But that's why I'm like, as much as, I mean, we have so much more equality in our country than other places that we should be thankful for. I know we're still fighting for equality.
Yes.
Like, I don't think that's something that we'll ever really stop fighting for.
No, because there will always be somebody.
If you're a minority, you're not going to be treated equally.
No, and there will always be somebody who wants to put somebody down. I don't care. It could be because they think they're smarter than you. It could be anything. There will always be some sort of standard that somebody doesn't meet the need for, so there will always need to be a fight for equality on some form of issue. And you do need to fight it, otherwise some other idiot's going to go out there and be like, oh, follow me, and
nothing does actually change unless the people fight for what they believe in. And like I keep telling people, just the everyday person can write a law and get some petitions passed and get it to be voted on. Like, you don't have to be part of legislation in order to get something to be voted on.
Be proactive.
If you think if there's a cause, that's important to you, you can start a petition, and if you get signatures, it can move up and actually like be put in front of Congress or anybody. Like, if you don't know how far it'll go, if that's something you're passionate about, then try. It doesn't hurt, and chances are that there are other people just as passionate about
That's what we were talking
who
about.
are willing to fight for the same things, even if it's just signing your name that you agree that something needs to be done. Then
if you don't do it, then nobody's gonna do it. Like,
Yeah.
your signature adds up. Like, every millionaire will tell you to never shirk a penny. And we're like, oh, it's just a penny, that doesn't matter. Yeah, but pennies add up $2 million, so they do matter. Just like signatures add up, and they do matter, and all that kind of fun stuff. And that let them
be the change you want to see
Be
in
the
the world. Like,
change. I know.
it's a corny saying, but it is
Thanks
true.
a lot. It's a corny thing. I only post it all the time, but
it's very true. But I
Yeah.
think because people say they're like, oh, be the change. I'm like, that is true, and I think people forget that, or they don't really think it's true, and it is.
Well, they think that somebody
It starts
else is
with you.
going to do
Change
it.
starts with you, and if you don't, if you think someone else is gonna do it, you're
They're
wrong.
not. They're not. I'm not even kidding. Like, okay, we had. This is ridiculous, but the male dude. Sorry, I'm a little tired. But the male dude. You know, just the male dude. But anyway,
Those hardworking people who deliver our mail and send
right? Go federal government. Anyway, so there was like prepaid packages put in our mailboxes so that we could give away canned goods to the homeless.
Oh, that's cool.
And that was really cool. All you have
I
to
didn't
do,
get that.
I don't know why.
I live like 2 blocks from you, and I didn't get that.
It was in my neighborhood. Anyway, I know. I
I
should
would
have
have
told you.
donated.
I'm sorry. Next time I'll let you know if it happens again. It was the first
I'm
time.
all upset that I didn't get the chance to donate. Bitch, I could go run down to the homeless shelter and go donate food.
I know. To see what I mean? And so, okay, so I went outside and I filled up the bag. And normally I'm a lazy ass, right? Like, and then I finally realized if my lazy ass doesn't get up and do something, nobody will.
Yeah.
So I was like all excited and I take my bag out to the street because I'm like, this might just be a bag of food, but you know, somebody's stomach is growling. Thank God I'm doing something, even though I can't do much. So I put it out there and I'm like, oh, I wonder who else put their bags out. And I'm looking around.
Nobody.
There is no other bag out here. I'm like, okay, how easy can this get?
Yeah,
You're prepaid. There's a bag in your mailbox. All you have to do is load it and take it out. And even I was tempted to be lazy and not do anything about it. And I was like, this is so sad. I mean,
they made it so
even
easy
I
to help
want
other
to
people.
sit there and do nothing.
They're like, we'll
about
pay
something
for
I
it.
care about.
Just if you have something you're not using, just donate it. Like,
And we're like, I
still
think I would rather sit here and watch another YouTube video.
But you know what,
like,
that-
I'm just as guilty. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, this is so sad.
that comes to me
We
for,
have to stop this
for
crap.
even voting. That the people don't want to make the effort to go vote. When it's really not that difficult. It doesn't take that much time out of your day.
No.
And you know what? If you don't want it, they send you ballots in the home that you fill out and you send right back out. And I eventually think that one day they will probably do it online if they figure out a way to keep people from like double voting, because you know right now they can't have people like online polls without somebody being like, oh, we're gonna send a bot on this to vote constantly. Like, no, okay, like they're gonna have to figure it out. But I think eventually elections will go online. Like, who knows? And then you'll have no freaking excuse because you spend all day online anyway. I know you because I do too. I work online, so I mean, really,
We're watching you.
so all you have to do is log in then and vote. Or, hey, if you don't leave your house, if you're really that much of
Well, okay,
a crust turtle
like
me,
I had said on Twitter the other day when we were talking about the Bruni Eye thing, with the whole stoning the gay people signed a petition, and like everyone's just like, oh, hold on. It's like, it's politics, it doesn't matter, right? Like, let's just pretend like we didn't notice that. And I'm like, alright, if you've got enough time to cyber stalk people, which we all do, we can sign a petition, okay? Like, it's three steps. And it took me 5 minutes. And I have ADHD, so if I can freaking pull it out of my ass, you can. Alright? I had to be reminded, because I already forgot once. But then, but then I did it. It's all good. So you guys can do it too. It's not that hard. If you can sit there and do other things, and you can be proactive. You really can. Like, I'm sick of everybody just complaining about things. Like, this whole entire thing we're doing right now, this whole spiel, would be pointless if we weren't planning on trying to take some form of action. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're just like...
We'd just be more people bitching on the internet.
Yeah, no, really? Okay, because Like, we're actually trying to go to school and actually trying to, like, change the world and actually trying to do things and trying to inspire you to do the same thing. Like, there is a reason for this, other than for me to see my face on a really funky camera talking about really interesting issues. Alright? So, take proactive measures and get out there and do something with your life. Instead of sitting on your ass, being a lazy motherfucker, alright? Because people are dying all over the world for the freedom that you have, and yet we sit here and eat hamburgers. And I'm not saying I'm not guilty. I'm saying we all need to change. Right now. So get up and do something before another second goes. Like, I'm not even kidding right
The sad
now.
thing is that we're filming this stuff, but this is the stuff that we talk about every time.
Yeah,
we
this
get
is
together.
stuff.
Like, this is nothing new.
You didn't even listen to, like, the 2 or 3 hour precursor of ridiculousness that came before this of... I don't even want to talk.
Yeah.
Well,
4 hours
like,
of talking
okay,
before
my
music
parents,
started
this is hysterical, but like when I was younger, my parents thought I was like screwing around. Like,
doing nothing.
I would be like, I'm gonna go hang out with my best friends and we're gonna go to Barnes and Nobles and drink coffee and talk. And my parents literally, not even kidding guys, literally checked up on me one time. They didn't believe me.
Showed up, right?
Like, they literally have admitted to not believing me, but then they'll try to like be like, oh no, we believed you, we never said. I'm like, yeah, whatever. So they came one time, because they didn't believe it. And they looked at my friends, and we were all like, you know, doing our thing, and they have this look like, you have got to be kidding me.
This is what we
You have got to be kidding me. And they literally left. Like, they couldn't even believe it. Like, I was like, this is what I do with my life. And they're like, we thought you're out there, like, screwing some dude. I'm like, no, because I actually have a life, alright?
We sit here and have conversations.
I'm sorry if that's your idea of a life, is me going and doing
I know.
inappropriate activity. I actually
having
like
a sex life is having a life more than having intellectual conversations about how to change the world. Like, really?
Why don't we have intellectual conversations about sex? Because then maybe people wouldn't have all these problems.
We do, though. When it comes
No,
to
I know
gender
we do.
identity
I mean,
and
we as in the people on the other side of the camera. We have to
people. No, I don't know.
Yeah, you. No, I'm just kidding.
You out. No.
Are we singling people out yet? Yes! No, I'm just kidding.
We're singling out our country. That's what we're doing. Our fellow
We shall
countrymen. That's what.
subtweet through internet recordings. Cannot. It's okay.
Sure.
I don't have anything to subtweet yet. My brain's too tired. We'll see what comes out.
Yeah. I don't know. Was there anything else?
There, a ton of things, but like I'll be freaking pooped if I remember.
I think we were moving on to the fun stuff. Okay, after all the political talk, now we
Oh
can move on to the,
yeah.
some of the fun stuff that doesn't require us to rant.
Jim Carrey.
Yes, I love Jim Carrey. Who doesn't like him? I think there's some people who don't like him.
Yeah, there are.
When people were bitching out that he started like doing drama and branching out, I'm like,
I think that people
he's a good actor.
just don't like a lot of things, and I don't even know why. Like, isn't there room for everything
hate
in
just
this
for
world?
hate's sake. I think at that point.
Criticism for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
Because they can't change anything. Like, okay.
They were criticizing him before they even saw the movie, so you couldn't even say that, no, he's a good dramatic actor. Like,
Right.
they were just saying he's just stick with comedy already. I'm like, no.
I'm like, why are we streamlining and putting poor Jim Carrey in a box? Apparently, though,
Because we can't stop putting people in boxes for God's sake. Oh, right, sorry. Doesn't matter what. Doesn't
why
matter
are you
what box it is,
apologizing?
right?
Don't even
We
apologize.
just
It's
boxes,
ridiculous.
boxes for everything and everyone, and if you don't think there's something wrong with you, no, the boxes are wrong. People let
And
go
then she
of the
smashed that
boxes
box.
and the labels. We don't need them.
And the balls of the
Let
individuals
go.
who made the box.
You will feel so much better about yourself and everybody else if there's no boxes, because then nobody's wrong. Everybody's just being themselves. And there's no judgment, because there would be no reason to judge people, because
As
there
long
are
as
no
it's
boxes
legal
to fit into.
and consensual and adults. You gotta put that
Legal
box.
and consensual, like, I mean, that
Legal, well,
children cannot legally consent to anything, so that's...
well, I'm making sure that I actually double check.
I know.
Like, I'm like,
Because
we are not inspiring
in
people
parts
to
of the
be
world,
stupid.
it's legal and children can consent, so you don't know, but...
Okay, well, I'm talking like 18. American consent. Well, in some
That's,
states.
I was just saying, I'm like,
yeah,
that,
fuck
we're not
shit.
even uniform in that, so don't
Fuck
even...
that shit. I mean, okay, here's my take on it.
I couldn't think clearly until
Like,
last
some
year,
cultures-
okay? Let's be real there. I went through all of college in like 2 degrees, and I still couldn't get my act together until I hit 25, alright? Don't even
No, well, that's the thing. It's the culture. Because, I mean, in some cultures, kids are raised to completely be, like, ready to, like, roll, like, with a complete job at, like, 16, 18 years old.
Yeah.
In our culture, we're like, we are slow-roaded. Like, it takes us forever.
Even though that's our
I'm
goal.
educated, and it took me forever to figure out what the hell I was going to do with my life. So I had to do a few things, you know. But that's just our culture. Like, it's just the way that we are.
For the fact that we push education now, like that's what people have to do. We don't actually value the educated. It's really strange.
Well, yeah, because if you streamline something, it loses its value.
I'm like, we also don't value that the common everyday working man. We take all those people and their jobs for granted.
Yeah.
All the stuff that that I guess what I wouldn't want to do. I see the people who work as in the garbage trucks driving by, and I'm like,
I'm so thankful for him.
I wave to them and I smile at them because I'm like, thank you for collecting our trash because. Thank you, because nobody else would do it.
Yeah.
If you didn't do it, thank you. Like.
Yeah, a lot of people are very, what's the word I'm looking for? Underappreciated. It's sad, like, you know, and we look at that like that's a lower level job, but do you understand, like, how much work
those
that
people should be paid more because they're doing the jobs that nobody else wants.
Yeah.
They should be valued.
And sometimes they are. Like, I think the trash man does make pretty good money, but, like, even, like, status-wise, it's like, oh, if you have that job, you're you know, it could be any stereotype under the sun versus if you know, you're a
you work in a sewage plant. Like, do you know how ridiculous that sounds?
I'll work in the poop pit.
Yeah.
But you know what? Somebody's got to take care of that fucking poop. Do you want that shit backing up in your toilet? Be thankful for that motherfucker, alright? And tell him thank you. Maybe go buy him flowers, alright? Because seriously.
Are there, like, garbage people appreciation day? Like, all those people who do
normal jobs that none of us would want to do? No, not really.
There should be.
Yeah, there really should.
Let's make a petition for that. So that those people get their own days.
That would be cool.
Because you know what, at least garbage people kind of get like a day off for like Memorial Day.
They get a holiday if when. It's the same thing with like minimum wage jobs. Like you do a lot of difficult work.
Don't get me started on minimum wage.
Oh no,
this is not even our rant video. Do you believe this? No. Why did you bring up the barter system? Because you know that makes me want to rant for hours.
I thought that was where this was heading.
No. Minimum wage and the barter system are completely different. Trust me.
No, I know, but I thought we were.
But they will both lead me into ranting though, so.
But yes. This one out. Okay, so I want to finish the Jim Carrey thing. We're rambling. So Jim Carrey, I guess he gave a speech. Of course, I forgot to look back up what because I'm exhausted. But he was at I think graduation and he gave a speech. But he was given an honorary doctorate award. I believe it was in fine arts. And I thought that was really cool. And then I also was really excited about Emma Watson. Because she just graduated with her bachelor's degree in English literature. And both of us have our bachelor's degrees in English literature. So I thought it was very important that we saw people that were in the arts and were in media that were highly educated and versatile and also could work in a career field. Because a lot of people tell you that you can't do both, and they are living proof that you can, as are we. But they're way more successful right now than we are. So I was like, let's go ahead and throw in some real success stories because, you know, a lot of people, there's such a rift between art and
everywhere else.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. I mean, it's like you're either an artist and you starve,
yeah,
or you go and bust your ass, but you don't do both. And I'm like, well, bitch, I'm doing both, and get over it. Because you might actually want to have more than one job in life, or you might have been called to more than one purpose. You're not just one thing. So let Emma Watson and Jim Carrey be an inspiration for that.
I'm actually, well, I'm proud of people like Emma Watson who do kind of already have these careers and lots of money already from the stuff they've already done through acting, and they choose to continue on their education and learn something. And when you don't have to, like, I think people would normally probably rather be lazy and just keep on acting, even though that is a difficult job. Like, that's not an easy job by any time.
Job. Yeah, it's very difficult. But yeah, it shows that they're very
intellectually and on top
of
professionals.
The professionals.
Right.
A professional doesn't end with education or with a paycheck. A professional continues their education regardless. And that's what builds society, and that's what builds change, is being a professional. Not being someone who does things just for an exchange of things. Like, I behave because I don't want to get in trouble, or I do this because I want simply a paycheck.
Yeah.
There has to be ethics and morals behind it for anything to advance further in society.
Yeah, ethics and morals.
Yeah, don't get me started on that one because that's like my
No.
favorite topic.
Yeah. I think I was just talking about that with my cats today.
Your cats, eh?
Yes, because when I'm home alone and I don't have somebody to talk to, I do end up talking about all this important shit to my
When
cats.
Macaulay Culkin is not there. Sorry.
And that's what I get from my cats in return when I'm talking about how children these days have no manners. And I feel like an old curmudgeon, but literally, kids these days have no manners.
And who's to blame for that? The adults that raised them.
Yeah, like
Uh-oh.
you can't really blame kids. Like,
No scapegoating what you raised.
Don't blame pop culture.
No.
Don't blame TV.
No.
Don't blame video games. Because it's your responsibility to raise your children with common human decency, okay? Okay? Don't let them be assholes. Like the children in my neighborhood. They're literally assholes. Like,
My kids in my neighborhood are so sweet. They tell me, I have been told that I look like, who all? Like, a lot of people. They're like, you look just like Lady Gaga and Katy Perry. And I'm like, you guys are so sweet. That's so cute. But literally, they do. And I don't really know how they see that. But I think if you come out of the house with any form of hair color like this or like a pink
because that's all
wig,
right now.
because I have like a pink wig sometimes that I wear out. And they're like they're all excited.
Well, that's nice. No, the kids in my neighborhood, they won't get out of the middle of the street even though I'll
my
sit there.
kids are sweethearts.
I'm like, get out. You saw me get in my car. Get out of my driveway. You saw me get into my car. Move.
They think I'm famous.
And then
so
they'll just sit
my
there
kids
and
are
stare
cool.
with like these stinky face. I'm like, what are you doing?
Fuck raised your family.
And I know where you live. Like, I'm gonna go talk to your parents. Like, no, I'm not the type of
I
person.
know where you live, kid.
But then I'm like, well, now I'm just gonna give you the stink eye because the last one already. You're like 10 years old. You have a life of assholeness to live up to now. Okay? Do you realize this? At 10 years old, you've already proved yourself to be an asshole. And now, I expect you to live up to it. Which is just dramatically change, okay? Because I realized that I grew up. I was probably an asshole. My friends were probably all assholes. Who isn't an asshole?
I was not an asshole.
Oh, I'm sure you were. You just don't even know it.
No. I actually was this is really funny because nobody would believe this, but it's ask my parents. I was like this really well-mannered, behaved kid that never ever cussed, that never stepped out of the line.
But I'm still an asshole, I'm sure.
And I was not. I was like so petrified to like ever fuck up anything, and now here I am. Look at me go! It was funny because my mom called me the mouth of the South, and I'm like, well, now I'm living up to it.
Now the South, I love that.
Mama called me the mouth of the South, and I told her I was going to put up something about that, and she about died laughing. So it's kind of funny. Mouth of the South, and my mouth has definitely gone south.
But the thing is that I still didn't even swear until I met you and Martine.
Oh, don't blame me, bitch.
Really?
Don't even.
Really?
Blame Martina.
Yeah, she's the worst influence.
Martina will tell you to channel your inner bitch. So, there you go.
Yeah, I guess that's...
She corrupted all of us. You'll get
She
to
did.
meet her. Just because she's busy doing her own thing, giving everybody the finger.
Pretty much,
Here,
yeah.
we'll do it for you. We'll do it for her in honor. Go, Martina, we're flipping everybody off for you.
But now we're just flipping off nobody for no reason. Sorry, we don't mean to flip you off, like...
No, actually, maybe we do. Because I feel
Maybe we do.
I feel like kicking everybody's ass for no reason. Because why not? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, but
Is there anything else? Oh, I wanted to talk about vampires.
we want to talk about vampires.
Yeah.
And that's sparking the Twilight times.
No.
And that's gross.
I laugh and say, like, I'm a vampire, but... Because, you know, I'm a nocturnal person, literally. I'm not a diurnal person. That's why we're doing this at 2:15 in the morning.
Because this feels like lunchtime. Like, I'm actually about to go get some pizza, so come join me. Eat some pineapples. I don't know. It's so good. I'm actually really hungry. Let's see. SpongeBob SquarePants! Oh my god. But anyways.
Oh, I can sing the entire song, so if you think, when I'm babysitting, that those kids weren't watching SpongeBob.
Oh my god. Well, no.
And if
You
you-
just got back a really bad, repressed, horrible song parody that I wrote a long time ago. Now. I'm not even going to sing it right now.
Oh, we should totally...
I was-
that is
no.
on our list of song parodies.
I cannot do it.
Oh, no, we will.
I cannot. It is.
Look forward to it. Look forward to our parody of SpongeBob.
It's really bad. It is
Song.
so bad that I don't even think I could sing it publicly. Like, It makes Martina piss herself when I see it. Like,
Okay, if it makes Martina piss herself, then we definitely gotta do it.
I don't even know where I came up with it. It was
hilarious.
like an ITV thing that I came up with, like, back, like,
That's
I was writing a lot of song parodies. Like, we're sitting there, we're just like, I mean, I was singing a bunch of weird shit. Like, we were gonna write Weird Al's next album.
We're just now waking up going, we need to listen to, yeah, Weird Al would probably be the big influence there because our boss liked Weird Al.
Me and Mike. Hi, Mike. We love you.
Hi, Mike. Yeah.
We love all our mics. They're crazy.
I know. I think
one time I knew like 5 mics. Yeah, it was ridiculous. I know there's
so they have to have nicknames now mostly because
we have Panda Mike and Mike.
Panda Mike is our boss / friend Mike.
And then Panda Mike is
Panda Mike.
Panda Mike. Exactly.
I know he's like I thought
he
knew his nickname was
my
Panda
dad
Mike.
found some other guy's email that said Panda Mike, and he actually asked me if it was our Panda Mike, and it wasn't. We were like totally flabbergasted. It was another Panda Mike. Oh my god. So
and then I have an
Panda
Uncle
Mike.
There's just like if I
we used to have another Mike friend that we worked with too. He worked. Yeah, I can't remember his last name right now. He worked with me.
How about there was another Mike with the same last name as our Mike too, though? Who went to the school, yeah.
Oh gosh.
It was so funny. So somebody was a student there and somebody worked there with the same name.
Which one is it now?
That's pretty good. Vampires! Don't
vampires.
Okay.
We're on a mic roll. Let's get off mic roll.
I know, right? Too many mics.
Mike! Okay, sorry, go ahead. Chainsaw.
We blame you, I know. We blame you, Mike, because he is the king of random and nobody really cares. Like, if you want something random spouted at you.
I was drinking Diet Dr. Coke in 1980.
I put that up on Facebook so that to remember, and he's like, you just want to torment me, right? I'm like, if you say hilarious shit like that out of nowhere, then yes, absolutely. And you know what? That was just like a mistake that he made. Like he didn't even really need to say that.
Oh,
he
so
said
Diet
Dr.
Coke.
No.
We're all thinking that.
Diet Dr. Coke?
Yeah, in 1980.
Yeah, in 1980, and he was like, what? Why did I even say that? I'm like, I don't know, but I'm putting that in
you
my
guys
book,
have no
and
idea.
I'm putting that on Facebook.
We're not even funny compared to that dude. That guy is hysterical. Like, I mean, it's bad.
Well, maybe one day we can convince him to show his face on our
web
channel.
Should.
Because
that's he's creating a Dungeons and Dragon character, and that this is for that. And then he'll be like,
the sad thing is that we would probably have to put like a hidden camera with us. Because he wouldn't be able to
then
get
he'd
his
punch us
normal
in the throat.
It would be worth it though, because he's such an amazing person.
Okay, you heard it, Mike.
And hardly anybody ever gets to see that side of him because
he's so funny.
He's such a cool, funny dork, and it's
he's the Mike we talk to.
But he's shy around normal people.
He's the Mike we talk to on Twitter all the time, Mr. M.D. Brown.
Yes.
Follow him if you want to laugh for 2
you know what he does cool kind of like
Chromaticity.
Yeah,
his band.
His band. That's his moniker. Because he does music and he does like soundtrack music.
He does.
And
it's amazing.
It's really unique. I think. Like it's kind of his own real style, and I don't know. I really like it.
Me too.
I told him that there was this one song that it really reminded me of like 1980s David Bowie.
1980.
Yeah, 1980. Like if that's not what he calls that album now. But he was like, wow, that's actually a really great compliment because I guess he likes David Bowie.
He loves David Bowie.
He wouldn't like David Bowie. He's awesome. Go David Bowie. Started the androgyny before it was popular, right?
Yeah.
David Bowie.
We have David Bowie to thank for all that.
So that that's
and Boy George.
So yes, if you ever follow us on Twitter and you see us talking to him, he's also a really cool guy. And he's doing his own music and stuff. And so I think his account is on SoundCloud. So if you look at him on Chromaticity. I guess we could put like links and stuff for anything that we talk about.
We can put whatever we want, or you can always ask us again.
He's gonna be like, why are we even talking about this?
It's like, why am I involved?
The royal ass. If we start talking in the royal that would be awesome. I wouldn't put it past
vampires, because we talked about Mike for like 5 minutes and he's gonna kill us. So what?
He's not even in this video we're talking about. All right. Okay, sorry. I love vampires, and they're a big part of pop culture. But there was this news article that there was a vampire burial uncovered in Poland.
Nice.
Which I thought was awesome. I don't know.
That's awesome.
There's this big, like, continuing myth that like there was a certain way you had to bury a vampire.
Yeah, before they come back to life.
You remove their top teeth, put like a stone in between the jaw, and I don't really know what that's for, but
Hide.
to keep the teeth from growing back. Like, I don't really know. And then they stake some other part of your body, like at least your legs or something, so you couldn't get up and come back, because they thought vampires were born, not made. So they were normal people. They weren't living in castles far away. They were like the average common Joe. Who just then, maybe if they died, they'd be able to come back to life. Like, they wouldn't really be dead, and they'd be able to come back and just resume life. And apparently people had a problem with that. Like, so I'm really curious about why this myth like came about, and why it's still there. Like, when you find these burials, that clearly they thought the person was a vampire. Like, I want to know where it came from. I'm gonna have to do some research.
I don't know. Like, it's really funny when you look at what people used to do. It's really interesting. Mm-hmm. It's kind of crazy and creepy.
But the fact that we still have vampires around today, even though, we come up with our own stories about them and we do what we want about them. But they started somewhere, so obviously they have to come from real people somewhere, right?
Dun dun dun! Dun, dun, dun.
If you learn anything from our videos, it's that vampires are real. That's what
You're
you get
looking
out
at one.
Oh.
I have been in love with Vlad the Impaler since I don't even know when. Since I was like 17.
I want those creepy
No,
Nosferatu fingers that are like super creepy and spindly and long with the long nails, and I want to be like, But those
I'll just marry Vlad the Impaler.
Those hands are creepy.
Like,
I'll come in from the corner and there'll be like a hand shadow.
Ready to go.
Have you ever seen that movie where the hand shadow comes first and it's just the hand creeping out?
A nice Boris Karloff film.
Got it!
Yes.
So,
yes, creepy.
Are we done talking? Is it
creepy?
We talked about some politics, some news that was going on in the world,
and some creepy shit,
and some little fun education, and we got our rants on, and
you just summed it up.
America's a good place, even though Chris says it. Don't worry, like, I don't know.
We're like, so for this lesson, I did a thesis. I filled in the
verbal thesis. I'm sorry you have to listen to our verbal thesis.
I did a little bitty conclusion to make sure that my audience
are you still even here?
We covered all these things.
If you listen to this whole thing and you're still here,
I pity you. I know there's some of you out there that love me dearly that like put up with this shit and watch this. I feel so bad for you right now. It's okay.
Nobody I know even watches this, so. Nobody loves me, it's fine.
I have a bunch of lovers and haters. It's like this right down the middle, so I know they're all watching it. And ripping it offline so I don't get any view counts.
I'm not even well known enough to get, like, haters, so.
Are you sure about that? You're associated with me. I'm sure you have a hater or two.
Well, then they are quiet haters. Which,
like, I'm looking in the background.
I'm like, Stu, you can hate it all you want.
One of them stole one of your phrases. This is why we can't have nice things. Don't touch my crew. Don't. I'm like ferocious mama bear, alright? Or daddy bear, it depends on which gender I wake up into the day, so look out. But anyways, what's this Spider-Man? Fun. Okay, sorry. But no, really. That looks so cool.
Wait, no, I want to.
Okay, we're having like Spider Pig. Can do anything that a Spider Pig does. Oh my gosh.